Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of Ted's Booze Cellar, dedicated to the belated happy birthday of one of my very dear colleagues, James. Now, James and I don't work for exactly the same team in the organisation that I work for, but, I've worked with him for coming on, well, I think over 2 years now. So, yeah, I work as like a front of house bar staff man, and he works in the kitchens making some delightfully good pub food. So, I want to dedicate this video to his belated birthday, which was yesterday. And whenever I've seen him drinking the bar that I work at, I usually tend to see him drinking wine. Now, he doesn't always drink wine, but that's what I usually tend to see him drinking. He could probably comment below and prove me wrong. But, so for his special birthday episode, I'm taking a look at the Waitrose 2019 Malbec red wine. Now, I've had Malbec before a few times, and this is a pretty decent one from what I roughly remember. This bottle it's 37.5 centilitres, 13% alcohol volume, and this was £4.49 from Waitrose, which I think for a red wine that's over 11% alcohol volume and looks to be in a pretty nice bottle, I think that's a pretty decent price. So I'll give the design of the bottle and the artistry of it I'd say probably like an 8.5, 9 out of 10. It looks very handsome. It's got that very simple but pleasant kind of European aesthetic. So, first off, before we have a little... Actually, let's have a little sniff of this first, because I was going to get some water and then clear my palate, but let's have a little snifter of this little shindig first. So, I'm actually just reheating some vegetarian spaghetti bolognese for dinner, so that's the reason, partly the reason why I got this tonight, to have it with that. So, let's give it a sniff. It smells almost Christmassy a little bit spiced at the finish there. It smells almost like spiced plum juice, which is actually a very pleasant smell. It doesn't sort of sting the nostrils too much, it just sort of hangs in there a little bit and then fizzles away, so that's quite a pleasant smell actually. I'll give that a very, very well deserved, I think probably a 9 out of 10 for the smell. I think there's a little bit of sharpness at the end of the smell that I'm not a massive fan of, but it's honestly not that bad. So, gonna have a quick palate cleanser of water first, so that we can give this drink as objective a view as we possibly can. So, and remember, especially if you drink a lot of alcohol, it's always worth drinking water to keep yourself hydrated and healthy. So, on to the most important part of the video, and the one that I'm sure James is most interested in, which is seeing what this sucker tastes like. So, bottoms up. You're right. No, it does kind of almost taste like a sort of a spiced plum mild alcohol. It has a sort of slightly earthy, sweet tang at the end of the finish there that you kind of expect with something that's based out of plums. And the flavour overall is pretty heartwarming, but it's not too harsh. Usually with these kind of South American red wines, they can sometimes have a little bit too much of a harsh finish. But it's just quite gradually tails off and has quite a heartwarming sense at the end there. But even that's not too overstated. This is kind of just sort of a pleasant wine that meets a lot of points that you'd expect for a South American Malbec, but doesn't overdo it on any of those aspects. And so, for some people, I can imagine they might think it's a little bit understated and it's a little bit average, which I can understand, but generally, if you're just looking to sort of sneak a couple of glasses down with some spaghetti bolognese or just after a hard day's work, this is perfectly pleasant to do so. And for the price it is, I think it's well worth it. There's a little bit of this weird texture to the undertone of the flavour that I'm not a big fan of it. And there's this acidity to the finish that I'm not a big fan of either. But generally speaking, I still think this is a lovely red wine. So I'm going to give it an 8.25 out of 10. Really, really good stuff. So, To everyone watching this at home, I hope you enjoyed this video, especially to James. I hope you had a marvellous birthday yesterday. To anyone who wants to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to my social medias and other YouTube channels in the video description down below. And if you want to suggest any other drinks for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, I'll leave those in the comment section down below. Or you can suggest them in the comment section down below rather. But until next time, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, take care of yourselves, take a mask with you to the shops, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Oh, lovely stuff.